Well, we know that the AI summit is attracting people from all over the world to show that India is a service hub. It's possibly soon to become an AI hub. A long way to go, but at least we've started somewhere. The AI summit has people, delegates, leaders from all across the world joining our Indian entrepreneurs who've displayed their AI prowess. And at a place and time like that, you have the Congress, the opposition wanting to protest, and in such a absolutely disgraceful manner. Now, I'm going to take you through the importance of this AI summit first. Even as the world's most powerful tech leaders gather in Delhi, India finds itself at the crossroads of ambition and agitation on the other hand. At the high-profile India AI Impact Summit 2026, hosted under the government's ambitious India AI mission, India signed a landmark declaration to join the US-led strategic alliance Pax Silica, a framework aimed at building resilient supply chains for critical minerals and artificial intelligence, while countering China's dominance in rare earths. At a time when global supply chains are under stress and tech rivalry is intensifying, India has chosen alignment with innovation-driven democracies. And the stakes are certainly high. Under the AI India push here, global tech giants like Google, Microsoft and Amazon have already committed a combined $68 billion in AI and cloud infrastructure investments in India by 2030. The AI India Summit is being projected as the first major AI gathering hosted in the global south, a bridge between innovation and inclusion, certainly a big moment for India. But tonight, that global showcase has a shadow. On the penultimate day of the summit, chaos erupted as shirtless Indian Youth Congress workers stormed a high-security venue, semi-nude protesters shouting slogans, disrupting the AI summit there inside the venue, literally blindsiding delegates who had gathered to discuss artificial intelligence, innovation, India's future, technological future. And here you have a bunch of men who literally, in quite a criminal way, I should tell you, because they had QR codes, which means that they've registered, very strategically planned this protest much in advance. So they've managed to very stealthily breach the security and get into the AI summit. And once they were inside, they started raising slogans, stripping, removing their shirts, and standing by those banners there of the AI summit. In the backdrop of it, shouting slogans, many kinds of slogans, condemning the government, condemning Modi and its policies and whatnot. But was this a way to do it? Congress youth leaders shouted slogans saying the protest was for rising unemployment. This was the protest, is what they say. That's the reason to why they protested. Let's listen in what they said.
आज यूथ कांग्रेस के साथियों ने आई समिट में जाके पीएम इज कंप्रोमाइज्ड के नारे लगाए हैं और ये रोष सिर्फ हमारे यूथ कांग्रेस के साथियों का नहीं है, हर उस युवा का है जो आज बेरोजगार घूम रहा है और उस हर एक युवा को पता है कि हमारे प्रधानमंत्री कंप्रोमाइज्ड हैं और तभी ये बेरोजगारी कैसे दूर हो उसके बारे में कुछ नहीं सोच रहे। ये जो ट्रेड डील अभी यूएस के साथ हुई है, हम सब जानते हैं इससे हमारे देश के किसानों को और लोगों को नुकसान होगा, फायदा सिर्फ अमेरिका को होगा।
All right, let me quickly take you through a little bit of what happened inside there. Let's listen into the audio of this. Well, and inside those halls were CEOs, policymakers, global leaders debating AI governance and supply chain. Outside, slogans against the India-US trade framework, protests over unemployment, references to the Epstein files, politics spilling into a platform meant for AI collaboration. Well, let's listen in to people who heard and saw what they saw.
Protest not should be here because this is the global arena that Honorable Prime Minister is showcasing.
बूथ पे खड़ा था जहां पे मैंने फिर बहुत नारेबाजी की आवाज आई तो हम देखने गए कि क्या हो रहा है। तो हमने देखा कि कुछ लोग अपनी टी शर्ट्स उतार के, कुछ पोस्टर्स पकड़ के और पीएम के अगेंस्ट, ऑनरेबल पीएम के अगेंस्ट नारेबाजी कर रहे थे। तो हमें ये नहीं पता चला कि वो नारेबाजी किस लिए हो रही है, बट वी कुड अंडरस्टैंड दी इंटेंट वाज टू क्रिएट अ रुकस।
ये ऐसे प्रोटेस्ट करके और ये क्या बताना चाहते हैं? एक्चुअली यहाँ पे जो भी हो रहा है ये अपना भारत को बिल्ड कर रहा है। एआई इज द नेक्स्ट फ्यूचर ऑफ भारत। सो मुझे लग रहा है ये प्रोटेस्ट वगैरह ये प्लेटफॉर्म नहीं है और ये ऐसे करना भी नहीं चाहिए। लोगों ने इस प्लेटफॉर्म की गरिमा को समझना चाहिए।
अनफॉर्चुनेटली कई लोग इसको अपने फायदे के लिए देखते हैं। ये जन भागीदारी है, ये एक डेमोक्रेटिक कंट्री है। वी रिस्पेक्ट डाइवर्सिटी, वी रिस्पेक्ट divergent viewpoints and we want people to express their right of speech. लेकिन एक जगह होती है, एक टाइम होता है, एक तरीका होता है।
Now, at least 4 protesters have been detained. Sources say they allegedly managed to obtain QR codes to enter the secured venue. Police are now using facial recognition to identify others involved. The BJP has hit back very sharply, calling it a shameless and brainless act driven by political jealousy over India's rising global stature.
ये एक तरह से टॉपलेस हो जाते हैं, अपने कपड़े उतार देते हैं और उसके साथ प्रोटेस्ट करते हैं। ये प्लानिंग कहां बनी थी? ये कोई सड़क चलते हुए यूथ कांग्रेस के किसी लीडर ने ये प्लानिंग नहीं बनाया। ये राहुल गांधी, सोनिया गांधी और प्रियंका वाड्रा की मौजूदगी में राहुल जी के निवास स्थान पे ये प्लानिंग किया गया था। ये प्रयोग है, ये संयोग नहीं है। राहुल गांधी और कांग्रेस पार्टी, द ट्रेटर्स ऑफ द हाईएस्ट ऑर्डर, देश के सबसे बड़े गद्दार, रंग में भंग डालना इनका काम है। जहां देश आगे बढ़ेगा, जहां देश में खुशियों की रंग छाएगी, वहां वो भंग जरूर डालेंगे। ये गद्दार है।
उनको कोई नहीं समझा सकता। उनका तो काम ही यही है। जरूर वो काफ़ी डर गए होंगे कि इतना अच्छा, इतना शानदार एआई समिट कैसे हुआ। और दूसरी बात, भारत जब तेज़ी से आगे जा रहा है, जैसे नौजवानों की आवाज़ आपने सुनी, पीपल फ्रॉम ऑल पार्ट्स ऑफ द कंट्री आर बेसिकली दे आर लुकिंग एट दिस एज अ न्यू अपॉर्चुनिटी फॉर देम, एंड दिस इज़ द टाइम व्हेन वी शुड keep the summit above politics. We should make sure that everybody supports, everybody cooperates with this effort. Then only the country can grow forward. अगर कांग्रेस अपने केवल उसी माइंडसेट में रहेगी जब कि उन्हें हर चीज में विघ्न डालना है, तो भगवान बचाए उन्हें।
Well, this summit has already seen confusion and chaos. Reports of CEOs being locked out, their products being stolen, logistical bottlenecks, long queues for hours, people waiting because of lack of coordination, and also denying access to a lot of areas that are entry points. So people, if they had to leave, couldn't book cabs, didn't get access to transport, so, or even parking for that matter. They had to walk kilometers away from the venue to access that. So that was already a situation that the government was battling with. And remember the Golgotia incident, where the university participating at the AI summit claimed that the Chinese-made robotic dog was its own, and that soccer, in fact, that drone soccer also being claimed to be their own, has also brought us enough embarrassment. India wants to lead the AI century, but we're looking at these controversies making headlines. Well, we're looking at this AI summit was something that India could have boasted of and gone to town with, claiming how far India has reached with tech. But unfortunately, it were the wrong controversies that took up most of the headlines. And just to make it even worse, you have these Congress members barging into the venue, stripping naked and trying to raise their protests, raise their concerns. My question is, if at all the opposition really wanted to protest, there are dignified ways of protesting. Why did they have to barge into a venue where you have global leaders and shame India? Because if their aim and intent was to embarrass the government, they've done a lot more than that. They've embarrassed India in front of those global delegates. It was unnecessary. Could have had a better, more dignified way to carry out these protests. Let me quickly bring in Rajesh Kotiyan, spokesperson of the Congress, joining us. Rajesh, I've been repeating myself time and again that there were better, dignified ways for the Congress to have protested. This was absolutely awful. And what's really shocking is that they've used criminal means and methods to enter the venue. They've registered themselves, got the QR codes, very, in such stealth, have walked into the venue and acted like criminals, because what they've done is nothing short of a criminal act. It's security trespassing. And you're basically scaring away people around. If I'm a woman and I'm standing there, I see these men stripping suddenly, it's scary for me, yeah? And I won't want my opposition to be, acting in such a undignified manner. I would hope, if you wanted to protest, raise it in better ways. Stand outside the venue and protest for all I care. That will also grab eyeballs. We didn't have to do this, did we?
Good evening, Navia. I'm a big fan of yours. You can hear me, right? From the days of time you were in India Today TV. And can you hear me?
I can, and thank
you. Hello? Yeah. So at 7 o'clock, there was a debate on India Today TV. And they said that every multinational event has a specific designated place for this thing. This is supposed to be the biggest ever AI summit in the world. Leave aside India, India is protecting. Now, you are a very famous anchor. Have you ever seen a minister come out the next day and offer an apology saying, I am sorry for all the guffaws which has happened on the first day? Now, what has happened on the first day? Multiple entries, letters. The CEOs were complaining, their laptops were taken away, there was no Wi-Fi. For India, which was holding such a big listing, and the minister acknowledged that the next day. You had two CEOs of founders of two companies saying they took away, and just because a prime minister wants to come and take all the limelight, all the founders' equipments were taken away. There was another founder, Dhananjay Yadav. He said, when I came in, what has happened in Kashmir and all that high security area, now you people are cribbing about Youth Congress going in high security area. What has happened? How did IDX come 400 kg? How did 2,000 people where there was no security? You people are making a mountain of a molehill. What has happened? Why?
I have a whole bunch of how many men, I haven't really quite counted. It looks like around 20-25 men who are stripping naked inside a venue. And you're saying we are making a mountain of a mole? It's inside a venue. Sir, we understand. Okay, security has been an issue. We've called that out. We've called out poor security. We've called out poor security. We've called it out.
Yeah, I am not defending them. I am from the media department. I have nothing to do with the Youth Congress, who planned it, who did it. I have nothing.
So say it in as many words that you don't appreciate it either. It's fine. So what if they're from your party?
Yes.
You don't appreciate it.
It has brought into notice what all was the guffaws. We have the IT minister on the first day praising Galgotia's this thing, next day accepting it is not. And our main point was you had the senior consultant who advises US. He was telling Indian data will be used and we are supposed to buy US hardware. India is a little bit ahead of European countries, but way behind China and USA. Now US, as it is going to use its farmers to dump their stuff in India, it is not an X or A or B or C person saying, it's the senior consultant to White House saying in an interview, we want India to use Indian data to use all that. So have we become a colony for US? They will decide who will take, which oil we will buy from. If Russian oil is cheaper for us, no. If you buy Russian oil, you will do this. So our basic intent of doing this thing was to draw the attention of this, what is happening. Even this data is finally helping what Rahulji said in the parliament. Our data, our strength. He's been given, and now that has been confirmed. I will tell you his name. Who is that? He's the policy advisor, Sri Ram Krishnan. He's a White House policy consultant. And he said, "See, we expect India to buy US hardware of AI to use Indian data." And Krishna Kanji, our Niti Aayog expert, has said, what did he say? He said India is going to export 33% more to US. Now, all India's talent and wealth. So why don't we officially become US is 61st or 62nd state? If that is what our Prime Minister wants us to be. Now, let me put across, even you will say again, I am digressing from topic. No.
I didn't even have to
When
say
the
it.
war
You had
happened-
an awakening yourself. I just was about to say it. You said it yourself. You are digressing from the topic. I asked you a simple question whether there could have been a dignified way
I
to
told you a
protest.
simple answer. Maybe right, and I told you initially, in every such event, there is a separate place of protest designated. There was nothing done. As the first day was a total disaster, the second day
I
was
haven't
a
heard of
convoluted
a
disaster.
designated protest spot at international level events.
You see India Today TV, 7 o'clock, I forgot her name, who hosts. She was telling your BJP star anchor, there is a place and we should have done that. Why didn't you? That was a mistake which the minister acknowledged. We were wrong in having.
I don't know what another channel anchor had to say, but then from what I know, I don't think any international event will have a separate section as a protest site, a dedicated protest site. I haven't heard of that.
Because even I was not aware of, but it is there. It's a practice. Now, if it's a practice and if
So
it's a very
because
big
it was
event,
not
a
there,
small event,
because it was not there, you were willing to compromise with security and evade all the security protocols, act like criminals, and in stealth use QR codes and breach security and enter, scare the foreign delegates who are inside, scare the women and children, probably children. Why not? You have students there. Students are there displaying their work. You are willing to scare the children.
I will give you an example. When that Kadhav had come to Bombay and he was firing away, our Gujarat CM, then the Indian Prime Minister, was of Gateway of India, and he was disturbing them. So at that time, was it not a wrong thing to do? So there are people who do wrong things and wrong time. I am not saying.
So you're just say it, then be clear. Say that what the Youth Congress has done was wrong.
Yeah, but we wanted to
no
put
ifs and buts. I'll hold on to the Manish Bariyar, who's also with me here. Manish Bariyar, who's a BJP spokesperson, he's with me here. I'm also joined in by Ritin PM, who's an entrepreneur himself. He's also a Bangalore Central MP, PC Mohan's son. He was very much there and he tried to counter these protests and try to stop them. In fact, Manish, before I come to you, if I could just bring in Ritin on that. Ritin, I heard you were the one who stopped these protesters from creating a lot more chaos. Could you tell us how they managed to enter that venue? And what did you see?
So these 20 Congress goons who had entered the AI summit. So I was near the Tata and Jio stall, and we see a ruckus happening, like around 20 people were standing there. They stood there, well planned, and then later on, they come there and they remove their shirts. But what was the necessity for a national party to come and protest on an AI summit? Didn't they have other platforms? Why were they doing a protest on a national global platform?
It is literally, you've got delegates from all across the world who've come in.
Yes.
Google and AI, Sam Altman, and you have Sundar Pichai, you have just about every big name in the space who are present and wanting to indulge in Indian make and invest in India. And at a time like that, where India is really projecting the best foot forward, you have a protest like this, which is actually very embarrassing because who removes shirts? I mean, are they really thinking they're French women?
See, it's unacceptable how these men came to the AI summit. They had other places to protest. See, you're against a political party. Yes, go and protest outside somewhere, not on a global platform. You're just trying to give a message. What message are you trying to give others? That we are bodybuilders coming and trying to show our body off there? Like, look at
None
these
of them
people
look
there.
like bodybuilders.
Yeah, there was one guy there next to me. When I pulled out two guys. So there was one guy standing there on top, and he looked terrifying. And it was scary to see him there on the stage. So four of us went there and we pulled him down. And this is not the right message that a political party should be giving to the world on a global platform.
How do you think they got in? What is this QR code thing? Would you know any detail on how they managed this? How do you access a QR code? You
I think they
register.
have breached all the security there by coming in there. So they had 3 layers of jacket. First, they had a sweater on them, and then they had a shirt, and then they had that T-shirt which they removed. So I think they have somehow got the QR code from someone. They have taken that QR code and scanned in, and they've come in. And the way those 20 people walked in for that good stretch of that 50 meters was scary. Imagine some people coming from outside. What message are these Congress people trying to give everyone?
You know,
It's unacceptable.
we have all the democratic right to protest, but this kind of protest, I don't think anybody would appreciate. You know?
I don't think anybody
Even
should be doing
people
such
who
kind of
vote
thing.
for the opposition, I'm sure,
Yes.
will find this a bit distasteful. That too, men stripping naked. What exactly is the
So
basis
they
of
have
this?
chosen. So why I went there is they have chosen the podium where the Prime Minister had gone. If you go from the center, there's a podium there where they're gone. So that's when we took up an initiative to pull these goons out. That's when the public came in to get these guys out. They've chosen the right place, and I think this was well planned for them. They knew exactly where to start from and where to stop.
Did you also need a QR code to enter?
Yes.
And how did you do you have to register for it?
I registered
What's the
for
process?
it online, and I got the QR code, and we went there inside.
Is there any criteria for getting a pass, a QR code? Any
You
criteria?
can you can register online for a QR code, because it was our Prime Minister had done it in such a way that the youngsters could come there and see what's happening, because it's such a wonderful opportunity for us to see what's happening there. And it was so disheartening to see these men do this. I think they need a better place to do such things, and it's not acceptable at all. And I was so disappointed to look at these men there.
You know, we are very disappointed. I was just very disgusted when I saw this in the afternoon, and I even put out a tweet on it, being very disgusted to what I saw. I even said it. I said, if the aim and intent was to embarrass the government, then these people have done a lot more than that. They've embarrassed the country. Now that's, you know, you should know a line.
What was their agenda to come on an AI platform and on a global platform and do this? What was his agenda? What was their agenda?
Protests, you know, there is always an agenda for a protest. The agenda is to highlight in unemployment. That's what they said. They wanted to highlight unemployment. We wanted to highlight a host of other issues that they've listed out. But my point is that isn't there a place and time? You can protest outside the venue. How can you breach security and go in? I don't know. You know, let me bring in our BJP spokesperson who's with us, Manish Barrier. My question, Manish, is as much as we condemn the Congress here, what it does expose, though, is the lack of security filters. How did they manage to get in so easily?
No, anybody can actually register, as you know, the earlier speaker was saying. So there was no breach of security as such. They were not carrying firearms or something. So, you know, one would not know the intent of the person who was getting inside, and that they are doing it in such a cohesive manner that 20 people have gone inside and they are going to protest like that. But I think on a larger scale, anyway, you have also said, and all the people agree, that it was a reprehensible act, and it has actually trivialized Congress to such an extent that Congress party is now morally and ideologically bankrupt. They don't have any ideas as to how do you put your points in a proper manner. And that shows bankruptcy at the highest level. How could, you know, it was planned, it could not have been done without the highest leadership, you know, people planning and that way. In fact, Mr. Jairam Ramesh was missing, and Mr. Pawan Khera was the one who was taking all the questions. So it shows that there are a lot of internal differences also within Congress on this. But it had blessings of Rahul Gandhi. There's no doubt over it.
How do you know that? Why do you say that?
Yes, because look at what Rahul Gandhi has tweeted. Has he condemned this incident? No, he has not condemned this incident as such. And I think, it is important for us to understand, the way a leader is the way the followers are going to be. They were absolutely goons. I don't know how do you say youth Congress. So obviously you have General Secretary. 40 plus are not youth, right? That kind of the age of people are there. They're talking about unemployment and they were talking about something else. There was no unemployment thing. So the idea was just to be news. That's it. And every news is not a good news as such. This was such a shameful act, as much as it can be condemned, because India is now the third pole as far as AI is concerned. After US and China, there's so much of talk. You show me a country where there is so much of talk about AI. We are talking about.
But Manish, we've got to admit the Galgotia's incident really embarrassed us. There's not one international platform that's AI based.
I think that's quite insignificant if you compare with 300 billion of investments within the country.
Right, I agree.
Think that we should talk more about it.
I agree.
Because those are.
But my question is, why when those products filtered? Why was why aren't there checks to see what kind of products are on display? That should be something that.
Fair enough, Nabila ji. But let's compare this. That you have more than 100 CEOs coming from country. You have 37 countries represented. You have around 3 lakh people coming up. And then we are talking about $300 billion of investment. Is that going to take India forward, or nitpicking on what happened in a private university and they did something wrong? Right? If someone does such a mistake, they ought to suffer consequences, and they have suffered that consequences. Probably university would also take, whatever they have to do with their employees and all that. And it's a lesson for.
How are you coming up with the figure of 300 billion? We understand that 68 billion has been committed so far, and those are from Google, Microsoft, Amazon, collectively.
Let me clarify. 100 billion comes from, from Adani itself, and another 105 billion comes from Reliance over a period of 7 years. Then you have OpenAI, you have Google, you have Nvidia. Okay. If you add all of them, I'm talking, and I'm being very honest about it. You can fact check that. Somewhere around $300 billion of investment is being talked.
Okay. So foreign investment, $68 billion collectively has come.
I never said foreign investments.
Yeah, I'm clearly specifying this, that foreign investment is 68 billion. I understand now from you that we have Adani and Ambani also investing a huge sum. Well, that's still a step forward. It's a huge leap for India in the AI space, undoubtedly. I don't deny that. But it's a first event. Again, you can give benefit of doubt, saying that, all right, the scale that India wanted to do this event, the kind of people that we are as Indians, we should have anticipated a little bit of unruliness and a little bit of disorder. So all of that excused, but just, a lesson learned. Certainly, I feel, Manish, you must agree that this could have been better, and this will be better the next
absolutely.
time.
And I think you have to appreciate the minister. It's not that anybody is hiding anything. He came out, he apologized, and that's what gentlemen do, and that's what a responsive government does. Right? If there are issues, nobody was hiding it. Nobody was actually trying to defend that, yes, there were issues. I think that's the mark of a gentleman and a responsive government, and that's what the government did. But beyond that, this was for the nation, and Congress keeps embarrassing the nation. And that has been my point right throughout. Please do not embarrass the nation for smaller issues, right? You have every right to protest, as that young gentleman said, but then there is a place for it. There's a parliament, outside parliament also you can do that. But you can't do that on an AI summit when the whole world is watching. Now, who are you with? You are with China, you are with Pakistan, they are making mockery of us, and then you have a Congress party. So three of us, three of these people are together. And I don't know why it happens that Congress party is always on the other side. What's going on there, I don't understand. And when Prime Minister talked about Congress Mukt Bharat, I think they are helping it with such kind of, bad behavior.
Ritin had something to say, Ritin.
Yeah, I had. See, one more thing is, if you look at those 18 to 20 men who were standing there over that place, it's like very clearly and well planned this is. Because even when I went for the first time, I didn't know where the podium is. So they've come to the exact place where they can walk there and get that publicity what they wanted. And even those men who were standing there, removing their shirts, and they didn't look like, I don't think they were Congress workers. They don't look like that. I pulled one guy and asked, "Ab kya kar raha hai idhar? Like, why are you here?" He doesn't even know what he's doing there.
They basically have just decided to go and
With
do,
some persons,
exhibit their bodies in such a
Yes.
disgusting fashion, but they
Yes.
don't know the reason to why they are protesting also.
And even the people over there, when they walked, they got scared. Who are these men? I mean, imagine such delegations have come, such big people have come from so many countries. And when these men are doing this, they could have done it near India Gate. They could have gone anywhere else and protested. Do you have something
I mean,
against the
honestly, even they could have done it right outside the venue. Why inside the venue?
So they, like our Prime Minister has got this AI summit, a global platform to get however things we are doing so well. I think they just couldn't take what's happening and they wanted this issue to come up.
And I'll take your final word on
What
this.
I feel.
Right. Rajesh, this really can't be different.
I was listening to all of them. They were praising Prime Minister. They were praising the IT Minister. They should understand when you hold such a massive event. First, when a Prime Minister comes, he has to be sensitive to the thousands of people who were accompanying, who were anything. Because a Prime Minister is coming, he cannot push away all the people there out of the venue. I respect you as an anchor. You should not be one-sided. You should not be, Nabia, one-sided.
Did I not ask? Did I not ask Marish Barrier questions about the filtration process, the security? How are you calling me one-sided?
He may be a prime minister for BJP people. For us, he's a common man. The people have elected him. The same people he should respect.
No, I'm asking you, why do you think I'm one-sided? You said I'm one-sided. What makes you say that?
No, because you did not give me a chance to rebut.
I literally gave you 10 minutes as we opened the debate only for you to speak.
Give me 5 more minutes.
Not 5 minutes. You have 1 minute, please. I'm short on time. 1 minute.
My issue is India is not an 68th state of US. I was reading a lot through AI. I run a school. I am 5,000 students in Bandra for last 50 years in Mumbai, near BKC. I am going to turn into, but nothing gives anybody a right to come and hog all the limelight. The Prime Minister did that. All the venue CEOs said that our laptops were taken away just because the Prime Minister is going to come.
See, look, there was one case which we took up on our channel. Don't make it sound like it was an epidemic.
No, you are making this sound as an epidemic. Now, US, I quoted you the name of the person. He is saying you have to take all infra. RB US is substate 60th right. Our data, which our LOP said, and our chairman of our media cell, I think he has not yet defended Youth Congress, but he said one thing. AI stands for Ashwini incompetent. On such a scale, when you are organizing something, you have to be all the more particular that India's name should not be. I am on your side.
So if that was the situation for the first 3 days, the Congress decided to slam the death knell. You wanted to basically kill the event all the more by doing this.
See, I will tell you one thing. You follow politics. I have seen your democratic newsrooms. When we did from 2004 to 2009, we did a lot of things. I was the person who used to preach. I was extremely close to Ostaji, RTI, RT, MR. Did they ever give us credit for one thing? They only went on the scam.
Sir, nobody's asking you to give credit because you won't, right? It's not your government. Nobody's asking you to give credit. But why are you tarnishing India's image? Is it not tarnishing India's image? That's all I have. That was my only limited question.
So here again, I'm telling you, you remember Modi's speech before he became Prime Minister? It's a crime. ये मेरे ऊपर कर्ज है कि मैं फॉरेन में इंडिया में बॉर्न किया था. You will not say about that. That is why I said you are biased. You will say about Rahul Gandhi saying something which is right. But if a prime minister who was supposed to be a prime minister says if I was born, it was a curse on me to be
Okay.
born before
All right.
2014.
That's all I have time for, gentlemen. I really apologize.
I am unbiased. I will tell my own party this way what Youth Congress has done is wrong.
All
But
right. So we heard you, and we're happy that Rajesh says that he's going to talk to the Congress party and say that what the Youth Congress did was wrong. And I'm going to take that as the parting note because that's what's the right thing to do.